finally, we won because we talked about power. I really get shocked when I listen to people being proud to be opposition. The fact that you're opposition means you have been beaten. Actually, to be proud, you know, I've never seen people celebrating being number 2. For instance, in the Premier League, have you seen a parade? Have you seen Arsenal doing a parade that they are celebrating being number 2? We of Man U, we are we have allowed others to win because, you know, we used to win so much that anyway, the point is, when I hear people for opposition, and they even quarrel, we're totally opposition, you know, they are trying to tell that you are not opposition. How can that be something to fight over? I've never seen people fighting for the silver medal. Everybody wants to fight for the gold. It is only in Uganda where people wear the badge of honor that they are opposition. Opposition kitegeeza abalonzi bo tebawera. And you cannot be proud of it. You must always be insisting that, you know, I want to be number 1. So, I'm really embarrassed on behalf of some people who go on TV and say, you are not opposition. I don't want to be opposition. I want to be government. That's why I'm in politics. I cannot say that I want to be opposition. Because in opposition, you don't have the decision-making power. So, Honorable Zimula can order a grader to go and clear up a road in Kasanda, while somebody who is making noise in this parliament cannot even move one Panadol from the medical stores to go to a clinic in the constituency. So we won because we were talking about power. So those are the 5 reasons why we won. There were serious challenges. Those who were opposing us, their plan was to stop the election. So we had to find a way of stopping them from stopping the election. I actually thank God that there was not as much chaos as I had feared. The only time when I saw the police removing those architects of commotion, it lasted about 2 minutes. And thereafter, the election went on normally. We urge those of you who report about DP, please refer to the party constitution. And now this constitution was not made by us. We found it. We are only implementing it. And we are its guardians. And we guard it very jealously. There are those who thought that if you don't comply with the regulations, your non-compliance will be sorted simply because you have paid nomination fees. Let me tell you, I paid nomination fees in 2016. I have never been refunded that nomination fee. So it was clear that the nomination fees are non-refundable. Of course, the cameras were focusing more on the small incidents. But actually, the National Delegates Conference was largely peaceful. If you were focused on the entire tent, you must have seen that the majority of the delegates were actually seated very quietly, wondering what this mob is trying to do. Our friend from Bukoto Central ferried people to go and disrupt the elections. Then when we disrupted the disruptors, then he abandoned them. We had to transport his hooligans. We had to look for money, pay for their transport, pay for their accommodation, feed them. Imagine feeding people who came to mess up. But that is the heart that we have. As I said in Mbarara, on behalf of the newly elected National Executive Committee, we extend a hand of friendship. We extend an olive branch to all those who are unhappy for whatever reason. Now, I have ever lost elections and I've also ever won elections. So I know what it is like. Now, the more you complain after losing, the more the pain actually. That's my experience as somebody who lost elections. Let me give you two examples. When I lost the election for Constituent Assembly in Gulu, the very next morning, I walked to the home of Mzee Andrew Adimola to congratulate him. I find that when you congratulate the winner, you remove a lot of poison from your system. That helped me. But the more you gather people around you and they cheer you as you insist that you won. Eventually they go back to their home and they laugh at you. Meanwhile, you know you are lying to yourself. I lost another election for DP president within 2 days. I reached out to Mzee Sebamala and even offered to be his campaign manager. Come back home and let us regroup as a party. Secondly, threats are really futile. We believe very strongly that we all have a duty to regroup. I know how painful it is to lose elections. There's a man who said that losing an election is like hurting your toe. Two things happen when you have stubbed your toe. Number one, you cannot laugh because it is painful. The doers, we are here, we represent the doers, those who do things. Because we wake up in the morning, we take decisions and we act. That is us. We have very clear goals on what we want to achieve. The second group is that of the reactionaries. And their job is to wake up and ask, what is Mao planning to do? Then they are reacting to it. Those are the reactionaries. Then the third group is commentators. I call upon all members of DP, join the group of doers. Stop being reactionaries and stop being commentators. The same applies to what is happening in the country. In that parliament, we largely have reactionaries and commentators. But for us in DP, why is everyone talking about us? Because we wake up and decide what to do and we do it. Then once we do it, then everybody is all over us. They have done this, they have done this. you also plan and do what you want to do. That's what makes a difference in life. So I'm grateful to the team that is standing here for being very, very, very firm. It started with a decision which we took in Soroti. You remember? We announced in Soroti that the Delegates Conference will take place on the 30th of May. Some people thought it was a joke. Number two, we set a deadline. And we said, those who had hidden registration books, who were failing the elections of grassroots structures, they will be excluded from the Delegates Conference. Because Delegates Conference is for those who are eligible under the Constitution. That is when many of them started scampering to have a lot of processes in a very short time. I want to announce also that our team has reached out to every leader that was in Mbarara. Our team has reached out to Dr. Lulume. Our team has reached out to Honorable Sebamala. Our team has reached out to all their supporters. So we have a test to prove whether we truly belong to DP. And I believe very strongly that we shall pass that test. We are going to be holding regional policy conferences for each of the 4 regions in Uganda. We are going to be in Buganda, we will go to the west, we will go to the east and the north. The policy conferences will bring the leaders of DP to discuss the ideas we shall present to the voters and our strategy. There are a number of issues which still need to be discussed and resolved. I want to state that we are not afraid to discuss any subject. All these are topics that we are going to discuss. For now, the delegates have decided who their leaders are. So that matter is settled. None of us got 100%. The elections were hotly contested. There are those who have been declaring their own results. Up to now, they are condemning us. The major target has been the chair of the Election Management Committee. Kennedy Mutenyo has been attacked. You remember when they even physically assaulted him here. So, the Delegates Conference was to settle the leadership question. That question has been settled. The next leadership contest will be after 5 years. One lesson we have learned is that when we have a Delegates Conference where there are elections, perhaps we should not discuss any other issue. I think when we have a Delegates Conference which has elections, we should just go and do elections. And then we can call other meetings to discuss other issues. I've been seeing some reports that some people were stranded. To the best of my knowledge, I was the last to leave that hotel. I left that hotel at 3 a.m. in order to go to Namugongo. I was driving behind the last bus that left that place. So the propaganda is really totally unacceptable. There were some administrative hiccups. Many people found Mbarara was a new town. Some people didn't know where to go. We met the delegates and offered them our apology. But the last 3 days of the delegates conference were very well organized. Nobody starved. The first 2 days were difficult because there were those who were disorganizing the host committee. So all that you see on social media are largely lies. There are those who said that the ballot papers were taken away and brought to Kampala to be counted. And then the swearing in again took place in Mbarara. Well, if there are those who really enjoy believing their own lies, there's nothing we can do about it. After all, can you stop people saying what they want? It is their mouth, it is also their data. We cannot stop them if that's what they want. The reason why the ballot boxes were moved was for security. And the interested candidates followed the ballot boxes and they stood there all through. They watched the counting. At least those who were there, I've not heard them making negative comments. But those who were not there are the ones talking the most. I saw two of the presidential candidates, Elia Alitia and Dr. Lulume. They stood all through. There are videos to show that. But you know, we now live in a country where there's a lot of drama. So when the ballot boxes were being moved, there were those who were making a lot of noise and alarms as if the ballot boxes were being actually taken to an unknown destination. Secondly, it was already daylight when the ballot boxes were moved. So everything was being done in the open. I've heard some people saying they want to go to court. It's really their right, but there are internal mechanisms of resolving all these matters. That's what our constitution says. So if there are those who believe that there were flaws in the process, the internal mechanisms are all there. We normally keep the records. So we really wish to warn those who are distorting what happened in Mbarara. As I announced in Mbarara, our next step is now for DP to be a key player in the 2026 elections. I'm pleased that people are really talking about DP. The same weekend, there was a delegates conference of a certain party called Ecological Party. You people, you are really unfair to some political parties. Why don't you cover them also? They even elected a president, Honorable Mohammed Nsereko. Why are you denying them airtime? This is a party, that is a Ugandan party, they elected, but all of you were just focused on DP. Why don't you give airtime to the Ecological Party also? Another party, the NUP, is going to hold a delegates conference. But as usual, when you people are covering DP, you really are biased and unfair. When you are covering other parties, you make it appear as if the chaos in those parties is not so much. Did you see what happened in Najanankumbi? A national chairman running for his life, climbing over a wall, stopping a random motorist on the Entebbe highway saying, "Ntasa, Ntasa." Now the little chaos in DP, you really magnified it. There was nothing. In NRM, they are killing each other. you don't talk about it. They are killing each other for LC1 positions. People are running in the NRM primaries, but you don't even comment about it. But when something happens in DP, it is as if the sky has fallen. I think there's need to cover us fairly. When they went to nominate the Secretary General, they opened for 2 hours. After Rubongoya had finished nomination, then the committee said the nominations are now closed. And the same applies to Katana, and so on and so forth. Then you are not even aware that the party has a fake constitution on file. Are you aware about that? I've shared it with you people, but you are not interested. You only scrutinize Mao and DP. Those people went, they plucked out the genuine pages of the Constitution. When you look at the NUP Constitution, the page number where the signatures of Chivalama and others is does not tally with the last page on the Constitution. None of you is paying attention to that, but from morning to morning, Mao, DP, Balwanye, Bakosechi, what? Why are you not doing facts? Why are you telling lies about DP all the time? When the real liars are there in front of you, the real crooks. The good thing is that the government has decided that they should leave them. Otherwise, that is a party that should have been deregistered long ago. You know that they are in court. So I also have to complain about the way the media is so much pro-NUP. You really are like an organ. The media is an organ of NUP. But you continue, because when Uganda burns, we shall be here with you. Yeah, because that's what you want. When Uganda, me at least I had 20 years of war in Gulu. I know what it is like. Some of you only read about war in the newspapers. So I pray that you really get what you are working for. Because when you get it, then you really understand. I have no apology for saying that. Not right about the rigging in Kavule. Have you seen even any structure election of that party? Where are the delegates going? They are genetically modified delegates. They are going to have GMO delegates. But none of you in the media is writing about them. But DP, what? Everybody, DP. Why are you not writing the truth? Tell me where the delegates coming from. Because delegates must come from members. Then that protest vote, I think it is prostitute vote. It is not protest vote. It is really prostitute vote. Because nobody knows what they stand for. We only know what they stand against. But when you are there, you are just massaging them. You go to Kavule, you just massage them. When you come to DP, you look for every little small thing and you magnify it all the time. We have the best leaders, the most solid leaders. We have so many leaders, we even lend them to other parties. That Kavule is full of DP. We are the ones who nurtured them. You don't even appreciate the role of DP. Now you will go and cover a fake delegates conference because it is going to be a crowning ceremony. for Bobby Wine and his psychopaths, worshippers in fact. Their delegates conference is going to be like mass. So their pontiff is going to come. But when you come here, every little thing, you just magnify it. So allow me to complain because I feel very unfairly treated. And then the cartoonists. I don't know what we need to do about these cartoons. First of all, they are very obscene. Everything has a sexual connotation. Why are the cartoonists obsessed with sex? How do you draw cartoons that are so obscene, yet children read these newspapers? I hope this time you are going to really cover real news. So I'm going to post again the fake NUP constitution and the genuine one, and see whether you people are really interested in the truth, or you are also part of the worshippers. For us, we don't mind fair criticism. We are used to it because we are democratic. But you have been seeing. So I thought I should talk about them because even them, they are always talking about us. I'm hoping that as we get head to the elections, we really focus on the issues. Finally, there is a plan for us to pay attention to this region of Buganda. We cannot afford to ignore Buganda because Buganda is the heartland community of Uganda and it's very important in the party. So we have a program to reach out. We are going to get elders to mediate between us, the leaders, so that as we go to the elections, we are clear where we stand. Buganda has a problem with the NRM. And those problems are not problems of DP. Of course, now that I'm a minister in the government, I know a lot about what is going on. I'm not at liberty to share with you about what is happening. But we just wish to say that we don't need this politics of hatred, or what we could say in Uganda, Palanirako. We don't need politics of Palanirako. I hope that our elders will mediate after Mbarara. So the Vice President from Buganda in the party, His Worship George Kajimo, is going to share with you a short message on what we are planning to do. Buganda and NRM were once very tight, as you know. Balina omukwano ne gufa. But the mukwano can be resurrected. I've ever given a speech about Buganda. I don't want to repeat it. But I just want to generally say DP is the party that can best represent the interests of Buganda. I've seen that NUP that got so many MPs in Buganda. Go and look at the Hansard and tell me whether there has been even one motion on Buganda's issues. Instead, it is Norbert Mao who is now promoting the agenda of rescuing the cooperatives that were grabbed by Obote. You people do not know that DP was the party that fought for economic freedom of citizens under Benedicto Kwame. The UPC government grabbed cooperatives of Buganda, Wabu Mpologoma, Masaka Cooperative, and so it was a very strong ideological thing. UPC wanted to have state control of the economy. And DP said, no. When I have earned my money, I'm in the best position to spend it. I don't want to give it to the government. And that is why DP is taken as a serious party, because it has content. We are now the ones fighting for the implementation of the Mbarara report. I'm sure you have heard all these comedians of NUP. Do they even know what is in that Mbarara report? And yet the main issue here is landlessness and how to get people their land rights. So our goal is to talk about real issues. Others are in a beauty contest. Oh, Chagulanyi is better than this one. That one is not our politics. Our politics is the politics which liberates the energies of citizens. So I am hoping that within the 2 months that we have set for ourselves, we will have done certain things on the ground to wake up people to the real issues. How can you run a country when you spend all your time fighting each other? I think they spend more time fighting Mpuga, as if Mpuga is the president of Uganda. When they wake up, then they are fighting Joyce Banda. Then they wake up and they are fighting. What sort of politics is that? So, now that we have settled our leadership question, we are going to show Ugandans what power politics looks like. We read a lot of rumors, but we are not here to react to rumors. Tusomoza naye Mukama yasobola okututaasa. Njagala kukubira bannaffe bonna abalina okwemulugunya omulanga. DP kibiina kinene, ffenna tukijjaamu. DP kibiina ky'Abannayuganda bonna. Bakubiriza tuddemu nate nga twogeraganya, tulabe ebituli mu maaso. Akalulu kajja. Tusuubiza Bannayuganda nti ku luno nga DP tuzze twesibye bbiri tusobole okuwangula ebifo. Waliwo abalowooza nti olw'okuba si be bakulembera DP tejja kufuna babaka. Baleme kwerabira nti DP yaliko mu kaseera ng'erina ababaka bana bokka mu palamenti. We nakwatira enkasi, DP yalina ababaka 6. Ne tugenda mu 15 mu kalulu akayise twaweza 9 owe10 nga wa iyala. Kyemmanyi tugenda kubeera n'ababaka bangi nnyo okusinga be tulina kati. N'olwekyo omuntu yenna alowooza nti ekibiina kyesigamye ku muntu, oyo yeerimba yekka. Twasobola okuwangula lwa nsonga 5. Ebirowoozo byaffe by'amaanyi bye tukkiririzaamu, bye tuzze tubuulira abantu. Bannaffe abaali batuvuganya nga basiga bukyayi naye nga ffe tugatta abalonzi. Bagezaako okugamba nti okutusiiga enziro nga nammwe bannamawulire mubeegaseeko. nalaba monitor Busale agenda kwogera mu Delegates conference ya DP oba babijjawa kati monitor kati tekyali lupapula lwa mawulire monitor kati novel era woba osoma ng'omanya nti oli kusoma novel era editor in chief ye chief novelist kuba obijjawa nti Sale agenda kwogera mu Delegates conference ya DP batubuuza ne tubyegaana era ne bagenda ne babiwandiika ne bakuba ne katuuni ayogera mu Delegates conference ya DP. Njagala nnyo okurespectinga abantu naye oluusi siyinza kurespectinga nga gwolemera ku bitali bituufu ng'ate ekituufu okimanyi oba kigendererwa kibeera ki naye twasobola okuwangula kubanga ennaku zino tebakulonda nti oyimiridde naani naye bakulonda nga bagamba oyimiridde ku ki ku nsonga ki. Ensonga ey'okubiri twasobola okutegeeza abalonzi ba delegates DP gyevudde mu Uganda. Abamu balowooza nti ebyobufuzi birina kutambulira ku President Museveni ne beerabira nti enkyalujja kukya nga taliiwo. Kati waba nga taliiwo ebyobufuzi by'abannaffe abamu bijja kuba bikomye kubanga bo buli lwe bazuukuka essira bateeka ku President Museveni. Ekyokusatu bannaffe abamu tebaanoonya kalulu mu nsonda zonna eza Uganda. Bo baali wano e Kampala nga bali ku kimu tuzze kununula kibiina ky'abajjajja. Nze jjajjange teyali omu ku abo abasajja 8 abaatandika DP. Naye DP eringanga bw'onoolaba ekereziya. Edda bapaapa bonna baali bava Italy ng'olina kubanga ekkundi lya jjajjawo baliziika Roma. Naye kati ennaku zino tufunye owe Poland, wuuyo tugenze Germany, Argentina, kati tulina omu America. Ebintu bikyuka naye bo baasiga bukyayi nga balumiriza kimu kibiina ky'abajjajja. Kibiina ky'abajjajja kitegeeza nti okkiririza mu birowoozo by'abajjajja abo. Abamu ne bawogera n'okwogera nti bo baali ba DP bafuuka ba DP nga baakazaalibwa. DP kibiina kya byabufuzi n'olwekyo baasuula obubonero mu Delegates conference era be baatukolera campaign ey'amaanyi kubanga bye baali boogera kyalaga arrogance. Ate abantu abaava mu bitundu byonna ebya Uganda ne beebuuza nti bano bantu ba kika ki, bwe tubakwasa ekibiina tujja kusigalamu kweri. Ekyokuna Uganda we tuli kati tulina okumanya nti ensonga etusuza nga tutunula eri emu yokka. Uganda eneekyuka etya? Obukulembeze bugenda kukyuka mirembe oba mu kavuyo? Bannabyabufuzi osanga bo balina plan B, balina passport, balina sente, basobola okudduka, bakuma mu bantu omuliro ne beerabira nti omuliro ogwo gusobola okubookya. Tulina okutegeeza bannayuganda nti kati DP kyekibiina kyokka ekiremeddeko ku nsonga ya transition, nga tulumiriza buli munnabyabufuzi nti osanga Burundi esobola okukyusa obukulembeze mu mirembe ne Congo, ffe mu Uganda ani yatuloga? kati agenda eri mu ddiiro DP yekikulembera ng'ogasseko agenda ey'okwogeraganya national dialogue, agenda ey'okukyusa ssemateeka ebeere nga ekolanga group y'abannayuganda bonna, ate tuyige okwenenya eri be tukosezza n'okusonyiwa abo bonna abatukosezza. Juzi nalaba pulezidenti w'eggwanga nga yeenenya. Ogwo gwe mutima omutuufu. Uganda yeetaaga pulezidenti asobola okunyiga amabwa g'eggwanga. Tetwetaaga ate muntu mulala ajja nti ye hero. Okulwanisa Goliath teweetaaga ate naawe kufuuka Goliath. Ekizibu kye tulina mu opposition, abamu balowooza nti okubeera mu opposition kintu kikulu nnyo ate kiraga nti olina amaanyi. Okubeera mu opposition kitegeeza nti obululu bwo tebwawera. Buli atandikawo ekibiina okitandika ng'oyagala genda mu buyinza, naye bannaffe abasinga banoonya bifo, tebanoonya buyinza. Ate oluusi mbalaba ne ku TV nga boogerera abalala, gwe toli wa opposition, gwe toli wa opposition. Okubeera opposition si mudaali. Okubeera wa opposition kitegeeza nti okyalina olugendo olunene nnyo okufuga ku ggwanga. Bano abali mu gavumenti nga President Museveni yali wa opposition, naye sirowooza nti yeegomba nnyo okubeera wa opposition. Nze seegomba kubeera wa opposition, era omuntu yenna yeegomba okubeera wa opposition nsaba abantu bamukyawe kubanga talina gy'abatwala. Bwe bituuse kati mu Uganda twagala obukulembeze obumanyi nti okubeera mu kibiina oba weetaaga buyinza, so si bufoofofo. Chairman ono gwe mulaba ow'e Kasanda asobola okulagira bulldozer oba grader n'ekola oluguudo enkya kubanga obuyinza abuyina. Naye ne woobeera ku TV n'oyogera omuliro ne gwaka, tosobola na kutwala kakerenda yadde n'akamu mu kaklinik k'ekyalo. N'olwekyo tumanye nti ekigendera ky'okubeera mu byobufuzi kufuna buyinza. Ekisembayo twasobola okuwangula kubanga abalonzi baatukkiririzaamu. Bwe twatandika olugendo lw'okukola Delegates Conference, bannaffe abamu baasooka ne bazira registration. Abamu n'ebitabo ebya registration baabikweka, naye baagenda okulaba nga timetable tekyuka. Twalangirira nti nga 3 mwezi gw'okutaano Delegates Conference e Mbarara. Weewaawo twatuuka e Mbarara nga bannaffe abamu baagala tukyuse constitution ku lwabwe, ate be banenya President Museveni nti atera nnyo okukyusa constitution afune ye byayagala. Constitution eyina ebintu byeteekawo n'ebisaanizo by'olina okuba nabyo okufuuka pulezidenti w'ekibiina. Twalina bannaffe abamu nga bakulembeddwa omubaka waffe ow'e Bukoto Central, yeetikka abantu n'abatwala Mbarara okulemesa okulonda. Naye nze ne ttiimu eno gye nnina twagenda e Mbarara nga twagala tumatize abalonzi tusobole okuwangula. N'olwekyo bw'obanga ekigendererwa kyo kuyiwa lukiiko, kati ekyo bwe kirema kitegeeza nti tojja nakuwangula. Akavuyo akaaliwo kaali katini nnyo era neewuunya nnyo bannamawulire ba Uganda. Ate ndaba emivuyo egibeera mu bibinda ebirala tebabizimbulukusa. Mu NRM bali mu kuttiŋŋana lwa tikiti za LC1 naye ebyo tobirabako mu mawulire. FDC balina chairman eyadduka ng'awalampa ekisenge ataase obulamu bwe, n'ayimiriza akamotoka ku luguudo lw'Entebbe ng'ali mu maziga ng'asaba bamutaase bamugyewo. Ebyo mwabyerabira dda. Naye DP weebeerako n'akavuyo katini bwe kati, obudde bukyanga muli ku nsonga DP balwanye, simanyi bakoze biki. Ensonga za NUP temuzoogerako. Mulinganga kati abafuuse olukiiko lwa NUP bali mu kuwandiisa bacandidates, baggulawo okuwandiisa bacandidates oluvannyuma lwa ssaawa 2 ne baggalawo nga principal yeewandiisizza, ne bawandiisa secretary. Ebyo temubifaako, temumanyi nti ne constitution yaabwe eri fake, temubyogerako. Naye akantu akatono akali mu DP mukazimbulukusa, simanyi lwaki mwakyawa DP. Leero ensonga we zituuka ku bibiina ebirala, so nno ku lunaku lwe lumu waliwo ekibiina bakiyita Ecological Party kyatuuza Delegates Conference. Abo nabo mubawandiikeko, naye mulemedde ku DP buli kaseera. Otunuulira kati ng'aba Monitor bawandiika nti tuyise Salim Saleh okwogera eri Delegates ba DP, ekitaali kituufu. Ate twabagamba era ne bakiwandiika ne bakuba ne katuuni. Kati nze ku lwange ndaba nga Monitor tekyali lupapula lwa mawulire wabula kati novu, kuba bye bawandiikamu bayiiya buyiiyi. Mbasaba bannamawulire mubeere balanced, mubeere independent, kubanga oluusi bye muwandiika bikuma omuliro mu bantu, bisobola n'okuleeta akazigizigi mu ggwanga. Ate ne mwerabira nti nammwe muli bannayuganda, abamu lwakuba muli bato temumanyi olutalo kitegeeza ki. Ekituyamba nti DP kati omwaka guno tuwezeza emyaka 7, kitegeeza tulina ba elders abasobola okututabaganya, tumaze okubatuukirira. N'abo ababadde bakaayana naffe twamaze dde okubatuukirira, nga Honorable Sebamala, Honorable Lulume n'abalala bonna twogedde nabo, kubanga tubamanyi nabo batumanyi, n'amazima bagamanyi. Naye lwakuba oluusi bwe mutunuza abantu kamera, abantu ne balowooza nti balina okuteekamu akawooku ke baagala. Naye nga nze nga Norbert Mao manyi nti bwe twogera amazima gajja tutaasa. Ekyokubiri, nkimanyi nti tulina abazeeyi abalumirwa ekibiina, bajja tutuuza wansi tusobole okwogeraganya oba tuyomba, naye nga abazeeyi baffe weebali. Tewabaawo agamba nti Mao ne ttiimu ye tewali abagambako. Mu Buganda bagamba nti wadde ne ligambwako nnyiniryo. Tulina abatugambako era bajja tugambako tusobole okuteesa. Twagala eggwanga lyonna limanye nti ensonga y'obukulembeze mu DP Delegates Conference yagimaliriza. DP erina obukulembeze obupya, neebaza nnyo abaategeka olukiiko n'abaategeka okulonda. Ate njagala kusiima abavubuka envuumuulo be tulina kati abayingidde mu bifo by'obukulembeze. Ndowooza nze ne Mwami Kajimu ffe tusinga kati mu bazeeyi. Abasinga bano be mulaba baana bato neeyama okumalawo entalo mu Democratic Party. Njagala mbakwasa ekibiina nga tekiriimu ntalo. Entalo zonna tujja zirwana era tuzimalirize. Tetujja kukkiriza muntu yenna kututiisatiisa, naye nga tuli ready okwogera na muntu yenna ayagala okuzimba ekibiina. Abalowooza nti tetujja kuweza babaka bangi basinga ku be tulina kati bajja kuswala, kubanga tulina ba candidates abaagala tikiti ya DP era tujja gibawa ate tubawagire. Abantu baagala ekibiina ekisobola okutunuulira Uganda ey'omu maaso nga President Museveni avuddeko. Tulina ba candidates nga mwe muli ne ba MP abaliko kati. Suubira nga wiiki eno tennaba kugwako abamu bagenda kulangirira tibatwegasseko mu Democratic Party sobole okuweza ababaka bangi. Tugenda kutagetinga mu bifo by'enjawulo tubeere nga tuweereza eggwanga. Tugenda kubeera n'enkiiko eziri regional twogere ku nsonga eza Democratic Party. Enkiiko ezo tuzituumye policy conferences. Wano mu Buganda waliwo ensonga nyingi. Oluyombo oluli wakati wa Buganda ne NRM si luyombo lwa DP, ekyo abantu bakimanye bulungi. Naye region eno eya Buganda erina okumanya nti teri kibiina kisinga DP okutegeera ensonga za Buganda. Mu kalulu akayita bangi bakozesa ensonga za Buganda okuwangula, naye wotunula Hansard ya Parliament ensonga ezo bazeerabira tebazoogera nako. Genda otunuulire Hansard bannaffe abamu aba NUP speech empanvu ennyo ze baayogera ndowooza zakoma ku lunaku lw'okulayizibwa, kubanga ensonga tebazitegeera. DP yetegeera ensonga ezo, ensonga z'ettaka. Ffe tugenda okulaba nga alipoota y'omulamuzi bamugemerere eteekebwa mu nkola. Ffe tugenda okulaba nga tuzaawo cooperatives nga Bwavu Mpologoma, Masaka Cooperative Society ne cooperatives endala. Ensonga ezo DP ezitegeera kubanga ensonga ezo ziri ideological, si bya kalulu. Ensonga ezo za bukulembeze.